Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. You know, you hear a lot of things about Cambodia, and sometimes the things you hear might come from a place of inexperience on the people saying them, because they've heard it from somebody else and they heard that from somebody else, and things like that. Or sometimes it comes from people who have been here maybe many years ago, 2008, 2009, 2010. And there might still be some misconceptions about Cambodia floating around there. And that's what I want to talk about today. I'm going to give you 5 common opinions about Cambodia, and I'll let you know whether they're true, partially true, or mostly false. So let's get right into it with the first one, because I recently had a comment about this. Cambodia is not a safe country. I think that comes mainly because people hear it's a developing country, and when you hear about developing countries in other parts of the world, there's a lot of war, a lot of violence, a lot of kidnappings, foreigners being threatened and things like that. But you can't lump all developing countries in together. And so the issue of safety in Cambodia is simply this. It's a very, very safe country. Probably safer than the country you're in if you're living back in the West, statistically speaking. And the comment I received was basically telling people not to come to Cambodia because people get kidnapped here all the time. Now, I don't know who the guy was that wrote that, and I don't know if he just got his medication days mixed up or whatever happened there, but that is absolutely not true. There's crime and there's violence in every single country in the world. You can't escape it, but overall, Cambodia is very safe. In my 5 years here, I've never felt threatened. I've never felt intimidated. I've never felt like I can't walk the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's very safe. In fact, Cambodia always makes the list of top safest countries for tourists to visit in magazines and articles every single year. The people here are fantastic. They're friendly. They're great for the most part. There might be a seedy element in some parts of the country, certain sections of bigger cities, but when it comes to your safety, you just have to use your head, use common sense. Don't be flashing around your money. Don't brag about all the possessions you have, and you'll find out that you have nothing to worry about in that regard. So that Cambodia is not safe, that is false. I'll say that right now. The second opinion you sometimes hear about Cambodia is that the food here is going to make you sick, especially the street food. And again, that one is false. It is true that if you spend more than a week or 2 on vacation here, you plan on a longer term stay, at some point you're going to get a little rumbly in the tumbly. You're going to get a case of the screaming ass goblins sometime. I had 2 cases. One lasted almost 4 days within my first couple months here. But the food here is very, very safe. It's very fresh, especially on the street carts, because when you go to a street cart, you can see them preparing your food. You know exactly what ingredients are going in there. You can see how they're handling the food. And it just doesn't make sense that the food would be unsafe. Let's put it that way. Because if word starts getting around that, hey, if you go eat at this place, at this restaurant, you go get something at this food cart, you might get sick. Well, pretty soon they're not going to have a cart. They're not going to be making any money. That's not good for anybody. So they actually go out of their way to make sure that your food is cooked. It's cooked properly. There's enough hygienic sanitation going on that you don't have to worry about it. And the reason people do get sick especially when they first move here, is simply because you're eating foods your system is not used to. It's trying to reject them. It sees them as a foreign object, and because it's so hot here all the time, certain bacteria will live longer in certain foods than it would maybe back where you come from. It happens to everybody. But since that first couple months that I was here, I've never had an issue with the food. I've never gotten sick from the food. It's a very, very delicious, healthy way to eat here. And I also want to say that a lot of people think of street carts as just a place to go and get a snack when you're walking around, and that's true. But there are food carts out there, just these little carts that will prepare you a full meal. You can sit there and you can eat it fresh from the cart, freshly cooked, right in front of your eyes. Sit there by the river, enjoy your meal outside on a little plastic table, a little plastic chair. It's a beautiful thing, I'm telling you. That's my Zen space. That's when I can do that, I'm a very happy camper. The food here is very safe. It's not going to kill you. So when you come over here, be sure to give it a try. The third thing, the third opinion sometimes you hear about Cambodia is that you don't have freedom of speech, or the people here don't have freedom of speech. That is partially true, actually, but mostly false. This is considered a democratic nation, and people do get to express their grievances to the government. They have strikes here. Factory workers that make in garment factories, they go on strike if they feel they're not getting paid enough, or they were promised certain things that they didn't get. People are free to express their displeasure and with certain issues that are going on in the country. But there are laws here, just like there are in other countries in this part of the world, against inciting violence against the government, or against saying anything negative or incendiary about the royal family, the king, the queen, or anybody like that. I forget the name of the law. It's got a French name. Somebody let me know in the comments. But anyway, that's very illegal. And whether you're a foreigner or whether you're a local, if you do that and you get caught, you're facing jail time, heavy fines, because that's not allowed. Now, back where I come from in America, you can talk about the government and the president and your congresspeople and your senators all you want, even in the most, derogatory language, if that's how you feel. And that is not a crime. But here it is. So that is partially true. They do have freedom of speech here. They just don't have the range of freedom of speech that would be allowed to somebody back in the West, like in the United States. So it's not like if you come over here, you can't complain about anything. Like if you're unhappy with a restaurant and you post a negative review, all of a sudden the police are going to come knocking on your door or anything like that. That's not how it is. They're happy with people expressing their opinions. They often, the government often gets together with different large groups that have some kind of disagreement with them, and they work it out. And for the most part, they have as much freedom of speech as anywhere else, except when it comes to their royal family. Do not desecrate their royal family. That's all I'm going to say about that. The next opinion I actually hear from not only online, from all the disgruntled people that seem to hang out on those kinds of forums, but from people here, expats living here. And that is, because Cambodia is so different from their culture, they believe these people to be backwards, stupid, dumb, unknowing, no common sense, and all the negative things like that. And that, I can say, is absolutely false. It's just the way they do things is much different sometimes than the way we are used to doing things. And part of the reason we have so much division today is because people think that the way they do things is the only right way to do things, and everybody else is wrong if you don't agree with them, if you don't do it like that, if you don't see things like that. And unfortunately, that gets around here in the expat world. They have a bad experience and say, well, it was this guy's fault here, it was the locals' fault, because they don't have no common sense, they don't know what they're doing. And I can say more than anything, they know what they're doing more than you because they grew up here. They know more about living here than you do. And the way we do things will sometimes seem completely backwards and awkward and without common sense to them as well, even though it makes perfect sense to us. And that's part of getting into the culture, realizing that it is going to be different. And that's something you need to acclimate to here as much as you do the heat, and as much as you need to acclimate to the food and the weather and everything else. You just have to say, when it comes down to either them knowing what's proper and right according to their traditions and culture, or you as a visitor knowing what's better, I would always go with them. And there are some very, very smart people here. Don't let the way they dress or their laid-back lifestyle fool you. There are some very, very intelligent, smart people here, and hopefully you'll be lucky to meet some of those when you get here. And the fifth one is the water isn't safe to drink here out of the tap. That one is mostly true. Everybody either drinks bottled water or gets those big 21-liter jugs, for drinking. For cooking, it's fine, because when you cook something, you're gonna boil it enough for all the bad stuff to cook out, and that's never been an issue for me. But yeah, just taking a glass, putting it underneath the tap, and drinking it, unless that water has been tested, which you will have to pay for, and you can absolutely be certain it's safe. Don't do that. That's going to give you. It's going to give you some pause here. One of those pauses where you won't be able to leave your apartment because you need to be within 3 feet of a toilet every 5 seconds. So that one is mostly true. The infrastructure and other things do need help here, but every year since I've been here for almost 5 years, it's been improving and improving and improving. It keeps getting better and better, and pretty soon it's going to be to the point where that shouldn't even be an issue anymore. So I hope that helps you. And coming up, hey, there we go. One of my buddies decided to get a few tattoos at this place. Yeah, this is the Bamboo Sakran shop over there on Funky Road. There you go. If you look right there, if you see that sign for the Funky Village Apartments, the tattoo place is right here. They offer traditional bamboo tattoos and the guns. He's doing a combination of both. That's my buddy Ed. He's lived in Cambodia now for, I think, 5 months. And he lives in Kampot, but he came to see him for a few days, so I decided to meet him down there earlier this morning. Give some moral support while he sat there. He's actually getting 4 tattoos done today. And, whew, yeah, it took him a few hours to get through all that, because he went for the traditional bamboo style, and then they use the gun just to fill in those really thin lines. Yeah, there's some of the art on the wall. And it's a small shop, but they're very professional. They're very clean. They speak really good English, by the way. And that's where I got my free tattoo during the last Khmer New Year, from these guys. So I'm just going to finish this video by showing you a few minutes of this. Trust me, it's not going to be the whole 4 or 5 hours or anything, but I just wanted to show you enough to let you know that it's perfectly fine. And they'll do a blessing, some kind of Buddhist blessing before they even begin the tattoo. and then he'll pick up the actual bamboo stick, say another blessing, because all these tattoos have significance. Some kind of Buddhist blessing goes, is attached to them. So it's a physical thing, but it's also a spiritual thing for a lot of people here, especially with the traditional bamboo tattoos. And that's how they do it right there. I know if you never had a tattoo, you might be looking at that going, oh my God, that's probably really painful. And I thought it was. Ed said he has no problem. He has several of these all over his body, and he's fine with it. But, any times that anybody's sticking a needle into your skin is going to be uncomfortable. but there are some of the, there's one of them they did today on his arm. Each tattoo has a specific meaning, a specific blessing, a specific purpose attached to it. That guy he was really great. He knows this stuff. He's very patient. He makes sure you're okay. He kept asking Ed, hey, do you want to get up, take a break, As you can see, Ed's got some there across his chest as well from before. Yeah, so I do recommend this place. There are a lot of tattoo places around there too, but this one, I mean, the guys are fantastic. They really walk you through the process. They let you know all your options. They, like I said, they speak good English. They want you to be happy and satisfied. They have a 4.9 rating on their Facebook page, and that's something, because most of the time people find things to complain about, but most people that went there are very happy. And he's getting 2 on his back. This first one is like a temple. A temple of some sort. He's getting a smaller temple right below his neck there, as you can see. And then below that, he's getting the big one. That's the one that took, the longest time. And you'll see that here in a minute. And while you look at that, be sure to check out all my links down below. If you want to donate, I have PayPal and Ko-Fi, and you'll receive all copies of my books and future books and everything else just for donating, because I appreciate your support. You can also buy copies of my books individually down below. And I'd like you to do that if you want to read. And also down below, be sure to check out my Horror Reads YouTube channel. I discuss a different horror book every 2 or 3 days. And other channels vlogging from this part of the world, they are all listed down below as well. So check out all those channels. I got my social media down there and other good things, so be sure to just check out all my links. Hey, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not. All right, I will talk to you guys in the next one.